are in the pose, either straddle or happy baby, straddle bending through the knees, bringing yourself back through into happy baby. Take a breath here. And as you exhale, very gently release hands from feet, dropping feet down to the earth, the knees are still bent. Taking the arms out to the side, I want you to bend at the elbows, so coming into cactus arms. When you're ready, nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, bring knees to the left. Oh, take your time here, keeping both shoulders on the earth. One of the benefits of this pose is to massage through the solar plexus, massaging through your area of self-esteem. Nice little spinal twist at the same time. Oh, taking a nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, bring those knees back through the center. Just take a moment here to readjust your hips. When you're ready, inhale through the nose and exhale, knees to the right. Again, through the spinal twists, just notice the body, notice the spine. Is one side a little tighter than the other? Keeping those shoulder blades active on the ground. Nice deep breath in through the nose, breathing out, bring knees back through the center. Readjust the hips, bringing the arms down to the side. So making our way to the front of the mat, easiest way to do this is just gently rock yourself up into a boat pose. Hold it here for a breath. Crossing the ankles, bring the ankles towards the butt, roll on over, coming into tabletop position. And take a moment here just to readjust yourself on the mat. And taking a couple of cat-cows. Take a nice deep breath in. As you breathe in, I want you to lift up head, lift up tailbone. And as you exhale, really round out through the spine. So take a couple of moments here, coming through a couple of cat-cows. And then maybe we just wiggle the hips side to side. Take some time to practice a little bit of movement. There's no right or wrong here. Whatever feels good to you. Oh. Right now for me, cat-cows are just perfect for my back. Oh. Maybe just wiggling out again through those hips. Maybe you shift back down into a child's pose. Oh. Maybe you even hinge yourself forward into a hammock pose. Whatever is good for your spine. Whatever feels good for your back. Just a couple more minutes here, playing with the movement. Oh, little bit of spinal undulation, working out any kinks in the spine. So I'm going to take it into a little shoulder stretch first before we move on. I'm going to do shoulder stretch at the beginning and at the end of class, just because of how much shoulder work we've done. So coming into a tabletop position, I want you to take the right arm, I want you to thread it underneath the left. Drop the elbow, forearm onto the ground, and very gently, bending through that left elbow, rotate yourself out onto your right shoulder. Oh, these looks. You might feel a little tightness in the spine. Definitely feel some of that shoulder tension release. Keeping the hips and the knees in line. Let's hold this here for a minute. Marilyn, this one is for you after all that shoulder work today. Breathing through any areas of tension and tightness in the shoulders. Taking a nice deep breath in, preparing to come out, pushing into the left hand, lift up the head, Release that arm, coming back into a tabletop position. Maybe you hinge back into that child's pose. Oh. Maybe you hinge back into that hammock pose. Oh. Maybe you just take a couple of cat-cows here before we move on to the other side. When you're ready, taking that left arm threaded underneath the right, elbow down, forearm down, rotate yourself onto that right shoulder, bending through the left arm. And just breathe into the stretch. Again, let's hold it for a minute. Focusing on any areas of tension and tightness. Maybe you're feeling this a little bit in the middle back. Maybe you're feeling it a little bit in the lower back. Breathe through it. Holding it here for a couple more breaths. Releasing out that shoulder tension and tightness. And again, preparing to come out of the pose. Pushing into that right hand, very gently lifting up the head. Sweeping that left arm underneath. Coming back into tabletop. Maybe just a little undulation into hammock. Pushing back into child's pose. Oh. Now the forehead to rest on the ground. Pushing into the hands. Lift your body up, coming back into tabletop position. Readjust the knees, readjust the hips, readjust the feet. Curl the toes of the feet. And we're going to push ourselves up through into a down dog. Ooh. It might be the first time you're upside down today. Pedal through the feet. Pushing into the hands. Navel is drawn in, shooting the tailbone up towards the sky. Maybe you just rock from side to side. Whatever feels good for you. Take a moment here in our down dog. On the next breath, I want you to raise that right leg up. Lift it nice and high, bending through that right knee. Come up onto the ball of the left foot. Help the foot if you need to. You're going to bring that right foot to the outside edge of the right hand. Just taking your time here. When you're ready, I want you to drop that left knee down to the mat, uncurl the toes, pull up out of the hips, spine is nice and long. So a little bit of hip stretching here, coming into lizard pose. If you're ready and if your hip flexibility allows, by all means, come down onto the forearms, like that, or come down onto a block. Try to keep those hips squared forward. So we're going to hold it here for a couple of minutes just to release out tension and tightness in the hips. Know that my hips are pretty tight. And we're then going to move it on into Strive from Mermaid. So breathing into that stretch, opening up through the hips. Keeping the spine nice and long. So then if you're on the forearms, I want you to come back onto the hands. And let's deepen into that stretch a little bit. I want you to rotate onto the outside edge of that right foot. Whoa. Man, that feels really good. Maybe you take that right hand to the inner thigh. Just helping, opening up the hip. Maybe you look over the right shoulder. Taking right hand down to the mat. Take all 5 toes of that right foot, plant them firmly on the ground. Taking the left hand underneath the left shoulder. Nice deep inhale. I want you to raise the right arm up. Oh. Allow the gaze to follow the fingers. So this might be enough for you. If you want a little bit more, depending on your hamstring flexibility, maybe you bend through that left knee. And maybe you take the right hand to the left foot. Not accessible for me on this side, it is on the other side. Nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, release hand from foot. Take hand down to the inside of that right foot. Readjust the left hand. Curl the toes of the left foot, straighten through that left leg, and then push yourself back through into a down dog. Just take some time here, be a little mindful of the hips. Pedaling out through the feet. Maybe you just undulate the hips side to side, bending through the knees. When you're ready, come into a moment of stillness. Inhale, that left leg comes up, bending through that left knee, coming up high on the toes of that right foot. Swoop that left foot out towards the outside edge of that left hand. And once you've got yourself there, I want you to drop that right knee down. Uncurl the toes. So again, nice deep hip stretch here. Again, depending on your flexibility, depending on where you are, maybe you come down onto the forearms. Maybe you come down onto a block. Holding the stretch for a couple of minutes here, allowing the tension in the hips to release. Elongating through the spine. Breathing through that hip tension. Oof. Now when you're ready, if you're on the forearms, come back onto the hands. Take that little additional stretch. Rotate out onto the outside edge of that left foot. Maybe you take left hand to inner thigh. Maybe you look over the left shoulder. Taking left hand back down to the mat. I want you to place all 5 toes of that left foot onto the ground. Bring right hand underneath right shoulder. Nice deep inhale. Raise that left arm up. Allow the gaze to follow the fingers. Holding it here if it's enough for you. Maybe you try on this side, bending through that right knee, taking your left hand to right foot. So again, all depends on your hamstrings. Take a nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, release hand from foot. Take left hand down to the mat, the inside of that left foot. Readjust right hand. Curl toes of the right foot. Lengthen through that right leg. And push yourself back through into a down dog. Again, pedaling through the feet. Take a nice deep breath in here. As you breathe out, I want you to come forward into plank position. Hold it here. Either drop knees, chest to the floor, or come through a chaturanga. Coming into an up dog. Nice. Coming through into a down dog. Inhale, the right leg comes up, bending through that right knee. I want you to bring that right foot to the inside of the right hand. So we're coming into a low lunge. From here, place both hands onto the floor. I want you to step that left foot in halfway into the mat. Drop that left heel down, coming into pyramid pose, and straighten through the right leg. So your feet are staggered. You're stretching through the hamstring. Either hands are on the floor. If you want a little bit more, a little advanced option, maybe you lift up the chest and maybe you bring your hands to your heart center. So spine is long, navel is drawn in. Both feet are on the floor, pointing forward, slightly staggered. Both legs are straight. If it's a little too much for your hamstring, you can always bend that front knee. And if you have that shoulder flexibility, you can take the hands behind the back and come into a reverse prayer. If you're unsure of reverse prayer, just keep your hands at your heart center. Really releasing out through the hamstring. Nice deep breath in here. Wherever your hands are, as you breathe out, release hands down to the mat, micro bend in that right knee for now. Place hands on the mat. Step the left foot back so you're back into your lunge position. Step the right foot back so you're in plank. Either drop knees, chest to the floor, or inhale in, exhale, come down through Vinyasa flow. Or holding it in up dog. And then pushing back into down dog. Inhale, that left leg comes up, bending through left knees or pyramid on the left side. Bring that left foot in between the hands. Flop it down. Body weight into that left foot. I want you to step or hop that right foot in, halfway onto the mat. As you drop right heel down to the mat, straighten through the left leg. So again, if you've got a block, your hands can be on the block. Your hands can be on the floor. If you're looking for a slightly more advanced option, nice deep inhale, lift up head, lift up chest, hands come to heart center. Oh, enjoy the hamstring stretch. Keep the spine nice and long. And again, if you have that shoulder flexibility and you want to come into that reverse prayer, take hands behind the back, fingertips point up the spine, palms touch. Nice deep breath in wherever your hands are. And as you breathe out, I want you to take the hands down to the mat, micro bend into that left knee, stepping the right foot back, stepping the left foot back, either push back into down dog or come down through chaturanga. Pushing into up dog, hold it in up dog for a breath. And then push through into down dog. Bending through the feet. And I want you to gaze towards the front of the mat and walk your feet towards your hands. Take a nice deep inhale, lift up head, lift up chest, flat back, hands on shins or quads or on the floor, wherever you can wherever your hands can be for a flat back. And I want you to exhale and just fold forward, ragdoll forward. You need to take a micro bend in the knee by all means. And just let everything go, let everything flop, let everything ragdoll. One more time, nice deep inhale, lift up head, lift up chest. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, raise the arms up and above the head. And exhale, bring your hands down through your heart center. Take the hands to the side of the body, you're in mountain pose. Just make sure the feet are active on the mat. Take a nice deep breath in here. Give yourself a little back bend. Exhale, fold forward. Let's inhale into a flat back. Exhale, hands to earth. Step right foot back. Step left foot back. Meet me in down dog or come through a Vinyasa flow. Meeting us all back in down dog. Coming into a warrior one sequence. So inhale, floating that right leg up, bending through that right knee. I want you to really open up through the hip. Maybe you look under the left shoulder. Can you see that right foot? Real deep hip opener. When you're ready, I want you to bring that right knee forward. Foot comes in between the hands. So you're in that low lunge. Body weight into that front foot. Body weight into the hands. Step that left foot in a couple of inches. Drop it down at a 45-degree angle. When your feet are planted on the mat, take a nice deep inhale and raise the body up, coming into a warrior one. Focus on the hips, focus on the shoulders, square hips, square shoulders. Good. Nice deep breath in here. As you breathe out, take the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, pull the arms down and away from the body. And then when you're ready, nice deep breath in, And breathing out, coming through humble warrior. So try to get that right shoulder to the inside of the right leg. Nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, release hands. Take hands to the inside of that right foot. Pivot the right foot towards the front of the mat. Coming into a wide forward fold. So you might want to readjust your feet here. Let the body ragdoll from the hips down. Maybe you allow the forearms to touch the ground. Maybe you grab hold of the ankles. Whatever feels good for you right now. Just ragdolling forward. Nice deep stretch in the inner thigh. So I'm not going to do this, but if anybody is on who does headstands, by all means, if you want to come into a headstand, this is the time to do it. If anyone is not coming into a headstand, let's just hang out here just for a couple of breaths. So whenever you're ready, headstand or no headstand, come on out. Walk the hands towards that left foot. I want you to lift up the right heel. I want you to lift up the left heel. I want you to pivot so that you're facing the front of the mat. You're back into that lunge, hands flat on the floor, stepping that right foot in a couple of inches. When you're ready, I want you to inhale, raise the arms up, coming back into that warrior one. Making sure the whole of the outside edge of that right foot is active on the mat. Squaring the hips and squaring the shoulders. Nice deep breath in here, breathing out. Take hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, pull the shoulders down and away from the neck. When you're ready, hinge forward, humble warrior. Take a nice deep breath in here. As you breathe out, release hands down to the earth. Lift up that right heel. Step that left foot back to meet the right. Either meet me back in down dog or take a vinyasa flow here. Maybe you just hold it in up dog for a breath. And then meet me back in down dog. Coming up onto the balls of the feet, a little bend in the knee. Step, hop, or walk your feet to the front of the mat. Depends on how powerful you want to be. Inhale, lift up head, lift up chest. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, raise up the arms. And exhale, back down into heart center. Inhale, lift. Give yourself a little back bend here. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale into a flat back. As you breathe out, take hands to the earth. Step back into plank. Step back into down dog. Or jump through chaturanga. And meeting me back in a down dog. Nice. Inhale, that right leg comes up. Keep the hips squared to the ground. Bending through that right knee. Bring right knee to nose and hold here. Good. Inhale, float that right leg up. And this time as you exhale, bend through that right knee. Bring right knee to left tricep. Inhale, lift up. And then exhale, right knee to right tricep. Inhale, lift up. Now maybe you just meet me back in a down dog. You want to add on a little bit more. Bending through that knee. Let's rotate onto the outside edge of that left foot. Dropping right foot down, keeping heel lifted, coming into wild thing. Perfect. Taking a nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, rotate back into that three-legged dog. Holding it here, dropping it down into down dog, or if you want, hinge forward into plank. Come through to vinyasa flow. Drop that right foot down, drop the left foot down. Push back through into down dog. Pedaling through the feet. Let's inhale, that left leg comes up, keep the hips squared to the ground, bending through left knee, and then bring left knee to nose and hold. Inhale, float leg up. And this time, exhale, knee to right tricep. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, knee to left. Inhale, lift up. Option, drop down into down dog. Or let's bend through that knee. Roll yourself over onto the outside edge of that right foot. Drop left foot down. Keep left heel lifted. Taking a little way back bend here. Nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, rotate yourself back through into three-legged dog. Drop left foot down into down dog if you wish. Otherwise, hinge forward. Come through into your vinyasa flow. Oh. Meeting me back in down dog. Inhale, float that right leg up. Bending through the right knee. Step the right foot in between the hands so you're in that low lunge. And then when you're ready, inhale up through into a crescent lunge. Let me turn around. Ooh. So crescent lunge, that left heel is lifted. Nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, I want you to rotate that left foot down onto the mat, parallel to the back of the mat, coming into warrior two. So nice and low in that right thigh. Gazes over the right fingers. And let's do a little flow here. So nice deep inhale in. As you exhale, take left hand down the left leg, right arm comes up. And breathing out, coming back through warrior two. So do it at your own pace, working through the flow. Let's do 3 more breaths. One more. And then meet me back in warrior two, holding it here. Option is to take that right forearm to the thigh. Left arm comes up. So coming into extended side angle. If this is enough for you, hold it here. If you want a little more, you take that right hand down to the floor. Keeping the shoulders stacked. And if you want even more here, take that left hand behind you and come into a bind. Allowing the gaze to face forward, crown of the head is in line with the right foot. So wherever you are, if you're in that bind, coming out of it, taking right hand down to the earth first, raising left arm up. If your right arm is on your right thigh, hold it there. Nice deep inhale. Whoa. Come back through warrior two. Hold for a breath. Cartwheel the hands down towards the earth. Lift up that left heel. Step right foot back to meet the left. Holding it here in plank. Pushing into down dog. Or coming through flow. Whoa. Meeting me back in down dog. And then inhale, that left leg comes up. Bending through that left knee. Stepping that left foot in between the hands. So you're in that low lunge. Or when you're ready, raising up into your crescent lunge. Nice deep breath in. And you're ready, you're breathing out. I want you to rotate that right foot towards the back of the mat, coming down through into warrior two. So that back foot parallel to the mat. Nice deep breath in. Breathe out. Get yourself adjusted. When you're ready, let's take that outflow. This little peaceful warrior flow. Perfect. So work at your own breath. Work at your own pace. 2 more breaths. Good, last one. Meet me back in warrior two. Nice and deep on that inner thigh. taking that forearm to the top of the quad. Top arm lifts up. If this is enough for you, hold it here. Again, if you want more, you take that front arm down to the floor. Keeping the shoulders stacked. And maybe if you wanted to take that bind, top hand comes behind you, bottom hand comes underneath the thigh. So if you're in your bind, gently come on out. Taking the hand out to the mat. When you're ready, nicely inhale in, exhale, meet me back in warrior two. Ignore what the legs are telling you. Nice deep breath in, breathe out, cartwheel hands to earth. Lift up that right heel and step the left foot back to meet the right. Nice deep breath in, push back into down dog or take a vinyasa flow. Meeting me back in down dog. You're just pedaling out through the feet. Nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, I want you to come high onto the balls of the feet. Step, hop, or walk your feet to the front. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, fold forward. Just hold your forward fold. So ragdolling the feet, ragdolling the feet, ragdolling the body. Taking hands down to the earth. I want you to heel toe your feet out. Bringing the feet out at a 45-degree angle. Very gently bending through the knees, so coming through into a Hindi squat. Dropping the glutes down to the earth. Straightening through the spine. Bringing the hands to the heart center. Good. Just releasing any tension out through the hips. Releasing any tension out through the inner thigh. And if this is not an option for you, if you have a block, you can always lift your bum up and place it on the block. And hold it here for a couple of breaths. When you're ready, take hands down to the earth, push into the hands, shoot the bum up towards the sky. Gently heel toe the feet in. Nice deep inhale, lift up head, lift up chest. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lift the arms up. And exhale, hands down through heart center. Nice deep breath in, lift up the arms. Little back bend here. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands to the earth. Stepping right foot back, stepping left foot back. Either meet me in down dog or take your last vinyasa flow here. Pushing back through into your down dog, pedaling up through the feet. And then very gently, I want you to drop the knees down to the mat. Uncurl the toes. And gently sit back, take a little child's pose. Just release out the tension through the lower back. And promise an additional shoulder stretch tonight. So from child's pose, I want you to push yourself up into tabletop. Take the hands to a comfortable position. And then I want you to hinge your body forward, bending through the elbows, laying yourself down on the ground. So you have to just listen to my cues here. It is a shoulder stretch. Taking the right arm out, directly out, in line with this arm socket, placing the palm of the hand on the floor. I want you to push into the left hand and then roll yourself over onto your right hip bone, onto the right shoulder. So your bottom leg, for me it's my right leg, you bring that leg to a 90-90. Shin is parallel to the long end of the mat, quad is parallel to the short end of the mat, and hold it here. If you have the flexibility, you want to deepen into that stretch, you take the top leg, you bend the knee, you place a foot onto the earth, and the knee points up to the sky. Takes it pretty deep into the shoulder stretch. Oh. So bent top leg is not for everybody. Breathe into that shoulder stretch. If it gets a little too much, remember you could always rotate off the shoulder, off the hip, and come back into it when you're ready. So holding it for 3 more breaths. Preparing to come out of the stretch, push into that left hand. Straighten through the bottom leg first, and then very gently roll yourself over onto your abs. Bending through that right elbow. Just gently placing the forehead on the hands. Maybe you just rock the hips side to side. And then coming into the second side, the left hand side for me. Take arm directly out to the side. Wrist and shoulder are in line. Pushing into that right hand. Roll yourself over onto the left hip bone. Bring that bottom leg to a 90-90. Shin is parallel to the mat. Quad is parallel to the top of the mat. You might find one side is a little less tense than the other. And if you want that additional stretch, you bend through the top leg. You place a foot onto the floor, and the knee must point up. So that will also depend on your hip flexibility. Deepening into the stretch, rolling a little further onto that shoulder. So holding it for 4 more breaths. Nice deep breath in through the nose. And breathing out through the nose. Preparing to get out of the stretch, pushing into that right hand, straightening through the bottom leg, and very gently rolling yourself back over onto the belly. Readjust yourself on the mat, bending at that left elbow, taking forehead down to the hands. Taking a nice deep breath in here. I want you to take the hands underneath the shoulders. When you're ready, inhale in, exhale, push yourself up and away from the mat. So stretching out through that lower back. Try to release the tension out of the glutes. Very gently push yourself back through into a tabletop. And then push yourself down into a child's pose. So with the child's pose, allow the forehead to touch the earth. Maybe you take the hands to the side of the body. And we're going to end tonight's class in child's pose, releasing tension out of the mind. Your option could be to have the hands to the side of the body or pushing into the palms in front. Just allowing your third eye to touch the earth. So coming out of child's pose, take a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, I want you just to push yourself back through into tabletop. Pop yourself down onto your butt. Cross the ankles in front of you. Take the back of the hands to the knees. Rotate the shoulders down and away from the ears. Opening up through the throat. Take the thumb and the middle finger together. Just take a moment here to acknowledge yourself. Take a moment to trust yourself. Releasing the hands down to the side. Nice deep breath in. Raise the arms up and above the head. As you exhale, bring your hands down towards your heart center. And take a moment just to remind yourself to be compassionate. Compassionate to others. More importantly, in these crazy times, be compassionate to yourself. Namaste, ladies and gents. Thank you very much for coming.